Hello, Madeline. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for this wonderful written rationale. Very effective. Good job. It's very important for a designer to be able to communicate their intent behind their design, and it's something that is expected of designers and will be for the rest of your career. So it's really important for you to be able to do this, and this is fantastic. So please keep this up and throughout the remainder of the class and your other classes too. I mean, really try to be as thorough as you can, describing your intent behind everything that you submit. All right, let's go ahead and jump to the ad here. It is right here. It's a good ad. It's a good ad. I love it. I think you've done a fantastic job. Conceptually, it is sound. I think page mechanics is good. Execution, there's a few things I think that we can do there to really improve the ad, the harmony of the ad itself. So. As well as the page distribution, the spatial relationships, etc. So, all right, so what do we got here? All right, so the background image looks great. The image of the flag, the two soldiers on the right, and then the family here. This is great. This is great because it's saying it's a family discount, or it's saying, but what you're saying without words here is that this military service is for soldiers, traveling with their buddies or whatever, or for soldiers and their families. So that's very smart connection to make right there. Exclusive minute, we got a great headline, a great subhead, Arial bold, italic, set beautifully. What I would recommend is this. Right now, I think there's a little bit of issue with hierarchy, in that the type is saying, hey, you got to look at me first. The type is trying to be the dominant position in hierarchy. And so is the headline. But then again, these guys are both down here saying, wait, you got to look at me first, look at me. So you got a lot of different competing elements on the page. And I think that's all based on scale. All right, so we know one thing. We can't change the size of these, right? Because these got to stay. They're fine. They're great. Which leaves, I think that the relationship of the headline and the headline spatially is beautiful. I would recommend left aligning the subhead with the headline. Left align right there, which means you pull that subhead over there, then take that same margin, or you can indent it, but align it to something else, okay? But what I would do is, so I'm taking that left margin. This type here is too big. A great trick to do is to print this out, but be sure to use black and white because you don't want to use all your ink. Well, you print it in black and white, and you'll be able to see this type right here is enormous. It doesn't need to be that high. This is 8.5 by 11 ad, right? So this type could be 10, 12 points tops. And it'll be fine. So what we do is we take that headline, left align the subhead, so everything's a left line. We follow that margin down and establish your type about like that. No wider. It's too long. Right now, I think your type's too long, so reduce the heck out of the point size. Like I said, 10, 12 tops. I should say, let me clarify, 10-point or 12-point type tops. And then you can include this right in your body copy right there. That's going to really open up all of this portion of the page, and it's going to activate the negative space, not only in the center and the areas between the type and the images, but also around the margin too. All right, so that leaves us with the bottom of the ad itself. Now, what I would recommend, I think this purple stripe is too much. I think it's too dark, number one, because the visual weight is too heavy. It's forcing the eye down to the bottom of the page. I would recommend try something with this. Try another treatment with this, and also maybe a different color, lighter color. Maybe it's a transparent box. Maybe, I don't know. Work it out. But then you want to follow that left margin. Now make sure left margins and your right margins are correct as far as the logo goes. Whatever the space is right here, it should equal the space right here, where the distance between the right margin and the logo. All right. I'm sorry, with the right edge of the page and the right margin where the logo is. Then you'll take that left margin and make sure that your location type is in alignment, and then reduce this type size as well and pull it down so it's in baseline alignment with the logo. So it would be something like that. Okay. Then you can reduce the size of that box or do something else with that box. As I said, right now it's really visually really weighty. All right, so other than that, I think it's a really fantastic job. So appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, I'd like to see you make those changes. If you want to go ahead and make those changes and resubmit now, that's fantastic. If you want to resubmit in a day or two, that's fantastic, great. Whatever you want, but ultimately, by the end of the class, when you turn in your ad, your final ad, and your final banner ad, I'd like to see those changes reflected. And you probably, I would recommend that you make those changes before you start work on the banner ad, because what happens here is going to affect the banner ad. I think that makes sense, right? All right, great job. Any questions, please let me know. Thank you.